Alright, I would like to put this disclaimer. I am not elite. I am not Overwatch master. I'm just a guy who's played enough Overwatch and games in general to have some good ideas. Some of these ideas will just be me squawking like a parrot. Some will be similar to the things that others have been saying, and I can think of at least one. Not only do I not hear a lot of people saying, I also don't see a lot in games, people playing on YouTube and whatnot, and if actually somebody's commented on it. And I cannot for the life of me remember where I got the advice, because I don't remember coming up with it on my own. But then again, that was years ago. So, yeah, there's the disclaimer. Squawk! I'm a parrot. So, team composition, because you apparently haven't heard it enough. Or at least your teammates haven't. Am I right? Because everybody has to auto-lock Reapers. There's a special place in hell for people who auto-lock Reaper or Genji. And I'll be burning along with everybody else, too. I'm totally innocent. Lies! Okay, but still, yes, this is a team game. Yes, crazy composition works. There are some heroes you can have the entire team go that hero. For example, Soldier 76, hey, you gotta heal, and he is designed to be easily handled. And Reinhardt seems to work well enough, but that is not done a lot for a reason. So, you really want to at least have one tank and one healer. Yeah, I know by Blizzard I should be saying support, but as of yet there are 4 supports, 3 heal, and one of them is usually only good on defense. King of the Hill does work if they have enough, if Symmetra has enough time to set up. But just please, people, Symmetra is a secondary support. Really, she's a defensive character that's just more utility, and she just has a really supportive ult. That's my opinion on the matter. And yes, I am somewhat salty because I have difficulties playing her. My turns are always crushed in within 3 seconds of being made. Oh well, whatever. I'm better with Lucian. But yes, as of yet, they have yet to make a support that does not heal that can solo support. And I kind of despair of them ever being able to do so. I would like to see a support that can do so, but I have a feeling they might be a bit overpowered. So yes, please, healing supports. And if you're playing a Symmetra on offense, you deserve to be beaten. Now there is one thing I will say about offensive Symmetras. I could see where you're coming from, especially if it's right at the end, you got a decent place to set up your teleporter, and more importantly, especially before getting right to the end, you set up turrets on the payload. This actually does make some sense as to how that'd be a good thing. This means the enemy coming near your payload has to contend with damage and slows from your turrets. Just putting that out there. It's kind of like Torbjorns or Bastions, but they do better in my opinion. So, that's where I'm cutting this segment. Now, on doing a good composition, and on the concept of a main. Now, I've heard it said, you don't have a main in Overwatch. And I somewhat agree with the sentiment, but first off, people are going to have mains. There's no way around it. People are going to say they have a main, and I feel they should be able to. However, I'm of the opinion you shouldn't so much have a main of Overwatch. I mean, you can have that person you main above all else, but you should have a main at least for each category of hero. You should have your offensive main. For me, as mentioned before, Reaper. For defense, either Bastion or Mei. I'm not really sure which. So yeah, you know what, on second thought, I won't be burning in hell with the rest of the people that insta-lock Genji and Reaper. I'm on a much deeper level. Get to my level, scrubs. A higher breed of evil. When it comes to tank, it's Reinhardt or Roadhog. You know what, to go ahead and give an answer, I think I probably play Roadhog a bit more, but I like Roadhog. Reinhardt a bit more, but I like Roadhog more. I do like playing Reinhardt, but I just feel so brutal when I chain somebody and freaking scattergun them in the face. So I'm going to say Roadhog for my tank. When it comes to supports, Lucio, I for some reason just can't get anyone else to work. I don't know why. I played medic in TF2. I've done decently as a medic in TF2, and for some reason, but yeah, but that's okay. I already knew I was going to play a lot of Mercy. I mean, a lot of Lucio. I just, again, I'm surprised I'm not playing as much Mercy. Oh well. So yes, have at least one character in each category you can play. Okay. Now, because apparently I can't get enough of team composition, but let's be honest, thesis, an entire doctoral thesis could probably be written on team composition. If you are on attack, and this is specifically attack defense mass, you should probably always have a Reinhardt on point, at least initially. Now, as time goes, okay, I can understand stopping, but remember, if you're having trouble getting out the gate, you're not getting that point or that payload. But also, don't forget Reinhardt the rest of the time, but, you know, once people have started scattering out, because people don't tend to group, I can understand going something else. Also, going right out the gate of an offensive map, especially if it is not a pure payload, at which point the payload will probably be reasonably close. I would say avoid going turret right out the gate. In other words, you know, I would avoid going Bastion or Torbjorn right out the gate. Wait until you know you've somewhat secured the payload. Now, I realize there are issues with that, and also, if you have a well-coordinated team, never mind, ignore that advice. But, I would say, help with the initial push more than getting set up, because getting the thing moving is more important. But, you know, that's something of a soft piece of advice. Also, yes, I know other people can do it other than Lucio, but especially if you are not in a particularly well-coordinated team, I'd suggest at least trying to have a Lucio on your team. And after that, may I introduce you to Rage's main theory on team composition. You have 6 people on your team. Half should be, you know, offense or defense, whichever you're doing. Preferably, if you're on defense, have at least 2 defense people, but, you know, whatever. But especially if you're going offense, when you are not the one setting up the line, I'd say it would be a good idea to try to have either 2 supports or 2 tanks. Now, doing 2 and 2, okay, it could probably work, but, you know, you're getting to a point that's kind of touch and go, but I do think that would help, because either A, they're going to have to go through even more meat shields, then also, you can have a Reinhardt and then another guy, so you can either have Roadhog and just brutalize people, you can have Zyra and make your defensive capacity even greater. Diva can be decent at flanking and also provide, although a very temporary one, another shield. What am I forgetting? Oh well, I think that's every tank, but if I'm forgetting someone, oh well, you get the picture. And of course, another support probably means another healer. But especially if you did go with the Lucio idea, that means you can also put in somebody that can buff up damage. And if you're on a payload, set up the Bastion, put the Reinhardt in front, and the Mercy in the back. There. Done. You are now really scary. Unless, of course, one of us nefarious Reaper players comes in. But... but, yeah. I really do think doubling up one of those positions, again, probably just one, is a really solid idea. Alright, shall we do something that doesn't have strictly to do with team composition? Yay! Okay, so, remember when I said that somebody had noted something that I do that I'm surprised not everyone else does? Reload. I got a Reaper play of the game and somebody noted that I kept reloading a lot. And I can't express how much that's a good idea. Are you shooting at an enemy right now? Are you chasing them? They're like 0.5 seconds off your screen, but you know they're running. Reload. Especially if you're playing someone like Reaper. Or really anyone who can run out of ammo quick. In fact, really, that's dang near anyone. But yes, if you have a moment, reload. Remember, bottomless clips. Always reload. And really, this applies to almost every single first-person shooter. For the most part, usually they will just simply reconsolidate your clips. So, you know, essentially they'll magically fill off the remnants of other clips, you know, by the magic of it's a freaking video game. Very few will enforce real-world logic. But yes, reload. Especially if you're playing somebody who's supposed to sneak around, like Reaper, Tracer, or Genji. Also, if there's a Reinhardt on your team, unless there's a good reason for you not to be behind the giant blue shield of no get hurt. And also try to make sure no one's getting behind his shield of no get hurt, because then if they do, you get hurt. After all, again, I play a good bit of Reaper. I love Reinhardts because I like jumping down and shooting them. It's fun. But yeah, stay behind the big blue shield of yay. Also, something to consider. If you haven't noticed, when you swap off your character, your ult resets. This is what is known as a bad thing. If you really need to swap, then swap. But sometimes it might be worth trying to wait out that extra 5% or just simply to go ahead and ult, and then when you inevitably die, because of course you're going to die, then you swap. Alright, I could probably sit here for the next hour coming up with tips and tricks for Overwatch, but frankly, this video's already getting long enough. So I'm going to cut it here. For those of you who didn't like it, I grant you, appropriately enough, the mercy to run away, though why you didn't run away earlier, I don't know. For those of you who stuck around and liked it, I don't promise a bunch more Overwatch videos. I might come up with some character ideas, because I do that for League occasionally, but I'm going to go ahead and warn you, I'm a horrible, horrible hack. The first character concept I have, I'm going to try to crack out before they release the next character, because it does imply they are releasing the support, and I would like to talk, the support sniper, and I would like to talk about that. So, yeah, hopefully that won't suck. Bye-bye.